Do you always feel like your body is constantly working against you? Are you tired of feeling like you're fighting an uphill battle every single day, no matter how you try to manage your autoimmune flares? Well, what if I told you that healing comes so much easier when you stop fighting your body and start partnering with it instead? If that sounds like you, please know you're not alone in the struggle. So many women with autoimmune conditions feel trapped in a constant battle with their own bodies. And that battle is so exhausting. Welcome back to the Health Bridge podcast. I'm Holly B, and I help women with lupus and other autoimmune conditions go from overwhelmed and inflamed to calm, energized, and back in control of their lives using a holistic mind, body, spirit approach. In this episode, we're talking about how to shift out of the fight mode with your body and into a partnership that actually supports healing. By the end of this episode, you'll know the exact steps to stop resisting your body and start communicating with it in a way that builds safety, energy, and trust. Make sure you stick around to the end because we're answering the question, what changes when I stop treating my body like the enemy? So, why does fighting your body keep you stuck in inflammation? Let's start with a quick synopsis of how your nervous system actually works. The nervous system is designed to do everything in its power to keep you safe. So, when it detects danger, it activates your sympathetic nervous system. This increases inflammation, cortisol, and immune activation. When you have symptoms that feel scary or unpredictable and are painful and debilitating, you understandably resist your symptoms by tightening up, feeling angry, feeling frustrated, or feeling scared, and your body interprets that as danger. This interpretation of danger instantly activates your sympathetic nervous system, which increases your inflammation, it increases your cortisol, and increases your immune activation, and it basically just adds fuel to the fire. Your parasympathetic nervous system is your safety mode. This is when the body knows that it isn't in danger anymore and it can focus its efforts more on resting and repairing any damage that was incurred. So, why does feeling unsafe in your body keep your immune system dysregulation active? Well, when your body feels unsafe, the healing response stays shut off because your physiology is wired for protection first. In other words, the sympathetic nervous system activation. And it only moves to rest and repair, or the parasympathetic nervous system, only when safety permits. Both systems cannot operate at the same time, which means that the more time spent in protection mode, the less time your body has to rest and repair. It's this chronic internal tension that is silently keeping you in a state where flares actually become easier to stay in, and getting into recovery mode actually becomes harder. And this is the most important thing that I want you to understand here. It's that your body isn't trying to punish you when you are flaring. It's just reacting to the internal signal that something isn't safe. It is trying to protect you. It is not trying to hurt you. Okay. Fighting your body is like running an emotional marathon every single day. It just drains your energy even faster than physical activity because you are burning emotional fuel just to cope. And this is why so many women, myself included, say, I feel tired even when I didn't do anything. It's that inner war that is exhausting you. Women who are constantly saying, my body hates me, that belief system is keeping their flares going. So, this belief comes up more often than people admit. My body is broken. My body betrayed me. My body is attacking me. My body hates me. I see it over and over again with the women that I speak to. And I used to speak this way to myself as well. And while I completely understand and completely sympathize with every woman who feels that way, because as I said, I have been there myself, the reality is that when you hold on to these beliefs as truth, your brain is perceiving your own internal world as a threat, and your immune system is responding accordingly. I have seen clients that shift from having very regular flare cycles into stability simply by changing this one belief to my body is protecting me or my body is on my side. And in my own journey, it was changing that internal narrative that made the absolute biggest difference and really started the beginning of my shift from constant fatigue and constant flares to feelings of more energy, more stability, and a fresh perspective on what my health journey could actually turn into. Let's dive into this mindset shift of your body is not against you, it's communicating with you. And how do you reframe symptoms as signals instead of threats? Most women with autoimmune conditions have been taught to fear their symptoms or to see them as signs that their body is failing. And Western medicine, unfortunately, does not include self empowerment, hope, or belief as part of its toolbox. And, doctors, bless their hearts and their good intentions, can often leave their patients feeling as though there is literally nothing in their power that they can do to support themselves on a foundational level to minimize flares and to create a different outcome outside of just taking a plethora of medication and, maybe a few diet changes. But anything beyond that is simply out of the scope of Western medicine. And so, what I'm challenging you, if you come from that background and that mindset and that experience, what I'm challenging you to understand here is that you are your own sovereign being and you can choose how you approach your life journey. And I'm inviting you to hold the idea that symptoms are not punishments, they are messages. Fatigue is asking for rest. Pain is asking for support. Brain fog is asking for slowing down. And when you can view symptoms as signals instead of threats, you can shift out of panic and fear and step into partnership. And this mindset alone can bring down inflammation simply because your brain stops sensing overwhelming danger. So, why does anger and frustration and fear create more energetic resistance to healing? Please know that it's completely normal to feel frustrated and scared, especially when your symptoms disrupt your life or, a brand new symptom presents itself. But when you are fighting those sensations with more attention and more force or more inner criticism, your nervous system ramps up even further. And that resistance becomes its own stressor. And this is where I really caution women to be careful of embodying the wrong aspect of being a warrior, a lupus warrior, an autoimmune warrior, a chronic fatigue warrior. Ask yourself, are you focusing on the warrior strength or are you focusing on the anchor of the battle? The energy behind each one is totally different. The first one, focusing on that warrior strength, that promotes that parasympathetic system, the rest and repair mode, while the latter, focusing on the anger of the battle and the brute force of it, that activates your protective sympathetic system. So instead of saying to yourself, why is my body doing this to me? Try, what is my body asking for? By just softening that internal dialogue, you truly open the door to actual healing. Let's talk about that identity shift from my body is attacking me to my body is protecting me. This is one of the most powerful mindset transformations that you can make. When you believe that your body is attacking you, every flare feels like a betrayal. So, where is this going to send your nervous system? It sends it straight into protection mode. Nobody wants to be betrayed. Your body doesn't want to be betrayed. Of course, your nervous system is going to react and come to your defense. So, when you believe your body is protecting you, even if the signals feel intense, even if you are in an intense flare up, by looking at it through that lens, you can create internal safety. And that shift lowers the fear based response. And that shift lowers your fear based response. It keeps that sympathetic nervous system activated and your autoimmune symptoms amplified. And please understand here, your immune system is not malfunctioning when you have autoimmune. It is just responding to an overload that it doesn't know how to manage yet.
Hey, I just wanted to jump in here and interrupt the program for just a hot minute. You know that I'm so passionate about this podcast, but what I'm also really passionate about is helping women with lupus minimize their symptoms, boost their energy so that they can indulge in life again. So if you are a woman who is struggling with lupus, who is sick and tired of being sick and tired, who's struggling to manage your flares, if you're finding that your lupus symptoms are just really getting in the way of you being able to live your life the way you want to, I feel you. I've been there myself and I felt the same way. And what I've found is that there are a certain set of health fundamentals that once applied, will support you in your foundational health. They will support you in building and maintaining that energy, minimizing flares, and allowing you to, again, indulge in life and follow your passions. So, if that is something that you are interested in creating for yourself, let's jump on a call together. I will walk you through the process that I use with my clients to get them from sick and tired to strong foundation of health by implementing my Health Bridge protocol. If this is something you're interested in chatting more about, I would love to talk to you. Apply for a free clarity call with me, and I look forward to getting to know you soon. And now back to the episode.
Now, I'm going to guide you through a simple visualization technique to help you soften into the message that your body is sending you instead of bracing against it. Say you are experiencing intense joint pain, or you woke up to a butterfly rash, or you found a new patch of thinning hair. You start to feel yourself reacting in fear or despair. I want you to recognize that reaction. Then I want you to stop and take a deep breath. Let your shoulders drop, let your breath slow, and let your jaw just unclench and become relaxed. Notice where you're holding tension in your body. And I want you to visualize meeting your body halfway and saying, I hear you. I love you. Just that small energetic shift tells your body, you're safe with me. We can do this together. And safety is the foundation of healing. Again, the most important part in this visualization is recognizing when you are having the fear reaction and your body is responding to that. So focus on recognizing those responses when you have them, and then you can go into that quick visualization. Stop, take a breath, unclench, untense your body, and Tell your body, I love you. I hear you. You're safe with me, and we can do this together. So, how do we start to listen to our body in practical ways? Well, this is called building interoception, and that means the ability to feel your internal cues. Many women with autoimmune conditions have been very disconnected from their internal signals because they spent years in survival mode and likely were in survival mode or internalizing stress or trauma prior to the expression of their condition, likely years prior. So, interoception is simply rebuilding the ability to notice small internal cues again, such as hunger, thirst, tension, emotions, fatigue. And you don't have to like sit in meditation for an hour to do this. You can literally just start with 10 seconds of noticing, what am I feeling right now? And where do I feel it? And so I invite you to pause this podcast right now for 10 seconds and just ask yourself those questions right now and simply take notice of what comes up. So once you ask those basic questions, you can now ask, what do I need right now? This one question is very powerful because it shifts you from judgment to support. Again, it's reinforcing that partnership with your body. So instead of forcing your body to act how you think it should act, you're learning to meet it where it's at. You're learning to find it where it actually is. And sometimes the answer is going to feel really obvious. Maybe you're dehydrated and you just need some water, or you're tired and you need to rest, or you're really tight and you need to stretch. Other times it's going to feel more like a whisper. So maybe just a need for a very quiet moment of grounding or just a quiet pause in your day. It's really important to start tracking trends with your autoimmune condition and with your flares, but you have to be able to do it without spiraling into that hypervigilant state and obsessing on them. And, autoimmune conditions come with just a myriad of symptoms, and it can be very hard to see patterns and potential triggers when you are just trying to get by day to day. This is where using a symptom tracker is really beneficial as long as you can use it with a healthy mindset. So, the goal with tracking symptoms is not to obsess over every single one of them, because that is going to keep your nervous system activated, right? The goal is simply to observe patterns so that you can respond earlier and more compassionately. And again, create that partnership with your body. So allow your symptom tracker to be a neutral tool, not a report card. Like there's no gold star system here. It's just a tool for observation. And I want you to track with curiosity. Go into this with curiosity, not fear. Go into it looking to find out more about how you can partner with your body. That curiosity, that space of curiosity keeps your brain regulated, which of course keeps your nervous system regulated and feeling safe. I do have a free symptom tracker download in the show notes. But you can also find numerous different tracker apps online. I do recommend trying a paper one, trying like an app on your phone, and just seeing what vibes with you the best. So, as you are now well aware, your body is always communicating with you. The question is whether we are listening early on or are we only listening when things get really loud? Learning to listen early comes with practice and definitely requires allowing yourself the space to be able to get quiet and observant and remembering to ask yourself those three important questions. What am I feeling right now? Where do I feel it? And what do I need right now? Our body can, whisper at us or it can scream. And so a whisper might be like a little extra fatigue, might be a little irritability or some thirst or just feeling a little off. A scream is a full blown flare or a severe pain or just a total emotional shutdown. When you learn to listen to and respond to the whispers, you can prevent the screams from needing to happen. So, what does a partnership with your body look like in daily life? It's instead of having the internal narrative of, "Ugh, why are you doing this to me?" It turns into, "Thank you for telling me. What can we do right now?" This little shift just builds trust. I don't mean that so much in a spiritual sense, although it can also be spiritual, but it's literally shifting your neurology. It's creating a regulated brain, which creates a regulated immune system and a regulated nervous system. So, I want to teach you the micropause system, which is a very quick, easy method that I teach my clients for practicing regulation. I want you to use this anytime you find yourself in reaction mode to a new flare or to a new fear of anything. The first step is to pause, and this is your pattern interrupt. Okay. It stops that spiral of fear or frustration or catastrophizing before it gains too much momentum. So, again, this goes back to awareness that we talked about earlier, being aware of when you're stepping into that reactionary mode. A pause can be 2 seconds, just long enough to shift your entire internal state. Think of it as like tapping the brakes before you start flying down a hill. It's gonna slow everything down and allow you to move safely. Step 2 is just to soften. Most women with autoimmune conditions unknowingly carry tension 24/7. We have a tight jaw or a clenched stomach, or our shoulders are tight and lifted. So, softening tells your nervous system, hey, we're not in danger. So take a moment to assess and see where you're holding on to tightness in your body and just drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, let your belly expand. And this one step alone can signal your body to reduce inflammation and downshift from fight or flight. And the third step is just to check in. This is where that partnership happens. So ask yourself, what is my body trying to communicate? What is the smallest step I can take right now? And small steps might be taking 3 slow breaths, might be drinking water or stepping outside. It might be eating some stabilizing protein. It might be lying down for 5 minutes or adjusting the lighting in your room or the sound in your room. So, when you are experiencing a flare, it is really easy to feel like you need to overhaul your entire life to get healthy. But I promise you, your body doesn't need you to do that. It just needs small micro pivots like this that bring you back into safety. And this particular method, it creates consistent cues of safety throughout your day because this is something that you can do throughout your day. So when done consistently, it truly begins to rewire your nervous system for the long term, right? We with autoimmune conditions, we have to approach this with the long view in mind. So again, by creating this consistency, you'll stop spending hours in fight or flight, and your body finally has the space to heal. The beautiful part about this technique is that it's totally accessible, totally doable, and totally realistic to use at any time of the day, no matter what's going on in your life, but especially during flares. So, to tie all of this together, let's recap what happens physiologically when you stop fighting your body. First, it reduces sympathetic nervous system activation. When you stop resisting your symptoms, your nervous system shifts out of fight or flight. This means less adrenaline running through your system, less cortisol pumping at the wrong times of day, less internal inflammation, and overall fewer danger signals being sent throughout your body. Your immune system stops receiving the message that something is wrong every second of the day. Even small moments of softening, like we talked about with the micropause method, begins to calm your internal stress response. When you stop fighting your body, it creates improved immune signaling. Chronic stress keeps your immune system confused and overactive. So when your body feels safer, the immune response becomes more regulated and less chaotic. This can lead to fewer flares, quicker recovery, less intense flares, less pain, inflammation, and swelling, even better digestive function. Nervous system regulation doesn't mean that your immune system cuts off or shuts off, I should say. It just means that it stops sounding the alarm unnecessarily. When you stop fighting your body, you have better sleep and better hormonal regulation. When your body is constantly bracing, your sleep quality suffers. I don't know many autoimmune women who sleep well. I'm sure you can probably relate to this. So, your sleep quality really matters because when you don't sleep, it really keeps your inflammation high. But when you shift out of internal conflict, your hormones have a chance to stabilize because the cortisol is normalizing. Your melatonin increases at the right time. Your blood sugar actually becomes more balanced, and your circadian rhythm actually strengthens. Your circadian rhythm is what uh, helps to regulate all of your hormonal functioning. So, if you are sleeping better, you are healing better. And this is one of the fastest changes that women notice once they stop fighting themselves is that they start to regulate their sleep patterns. When you stop fighting your body, you have more stable energy. So when you're no longer burning energy fighting your own body, that energy becomes available again for other things. So your fatigue isn't just physical. Like, I think this is really important to understand. Your fatigue is just as much emotional and neurological. So ending that internal battle, that internal fight or flight response frees up mental clarity. Brain fog is such a common issue with autoimmune conditions. It frees up your emotional bandwidth and it brings more day-to-day stamina. And this is why I hear from women, I didn't change that much, but I shifted my mindset and I realized I actually have a little bit more energy throughout my day. So understand, like, this is nothing magic here. This is strictly physiology. When you stop fighting your body, you can feel at home in your body again instead of at war with it. And this is honestly what I believe is the single most important outcome of creating this mindset shift. It's it's really creating that sense of softening within the body, that sense of safety, that feeling of trust, like I we got this, and just creating that belonging again inside of your own skin. Because when you feel at home in your body, you make better choices much more effortlessly, such as nutrition, such as hydration, sleep, movement, grounding, because you're making choices with your body and not against it. This is when healing becomes much more intuitive instead of forced. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you're walking away with a new sense of what's possible when you stop resisting your body and instead begin partnering with it. Please know that your body is not the obstacle, it's truly the guide. And when you learn how to listen, everything shifts. If this episode spoke to you, please remember that you don't have to navigate autoimmunity alone. You can download my free daily lupus guide and symptom tracker in the show notes. It's applicable to all autoimmune conditions, not just lupus. And you can also apply for a free healing breakthrough call if you're ready to create a calm, supportive relationship with your body. Until next time, take a deep breath, give yourself grace, and keep building your bridge back to health.